Welcome to Thank God You're Not My Child. Remember, it's a comedy podcast where I talk about whatever I want to. Yep, and we're traveling this week on the road again. And I have seen a few kids here, and we happen to be staying at a hotel casino. And the only thing this is probably one of my shit soapboxes, okay? The only thing this whole hotel has that could interest a kid would be the swimming pools. They have an amazing swimming pools. Even have some stuff made for kids. It looks like it's going to be very awesome, but it's too cold. None of them are open. There is restaurants all over, but you have to come into the casino that's in the middle of nowhere. And I'm just asking, what makes somebody take their kids there? I'm not talking babies, because you put a baby in a stroller, okay, that's you. But you got a 7-year-old. Do you think they want to see all these lights and stuff and they can't touch anything? I mean, to them, maybe they're playing games. Have you thought about that? Like, they have games at home, and these are just games just the same as that they play at home. I don't understand. This was my question for this week, is I don't understand. I don't understand why you'd bring your child up here when there's nothing for them to do but to watch everybody put money in there and drink. I don't know, but, if you think that's okay to do, DM me something. Let me know. Let me know what the answer is, okay? Let me know what that answer is. But anyway, you might need a drink, because we're also talking about those kids that say weird things or maybe talk back. I do remember, the one thing I remember the most when I was young was I had one sister that my little sister could have cared less if she got in trouble. She's redhead, and at least I say more, if you know what I mean. She got in trouble a lot because of her words, but they could hear everything she was saying. But I had an older sister that was a mumbler, those ones that mumble down the hallway. And I don't know if Mom ever really knew what she was saying, but she knew it wasn't going to be good. So I'm not sure who got in trouble the most. The younger sister that was very clear with her words, or the older sister that mumbled? Or was it the smarter sister, the one in the middle? I wonder if you can guess who that is. They'll learn to keep your mouth shut and try not to get in trouble. Yeah, I learned a lot watching the little sister and the older sister. I still don't think I was the smartest sister, but, I learned how to keep my mouth shut when I was in trouble. Maybe not until I got in trouble, but I learned afterwards. Woo, punishment. That discipline my mama had sure did keep us on the straight and narrow. And I'm pretty sure most of my listeners understand what that meant. You didn't talk back. I was raised yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. And do you know what? That's respect. You give people respect. Elders, you better damn well not say anything to your grandparents or your grandparents' friends that are there, or your aunt and your uncle. You better not show your ass. Whew. It's called respect. And we're not showing our kids that a lot now, I'm okay with it. I mean, it has nothing to do with kids that are uncomfortable with an aunt or uncle. Nothing like that. Just regular misbehaving kids that shouldn't be screaming and talking back to people. And you see that a whole lot now. Lord forbid you go to Walmart. I've seen kids put things in the basket and tell them, oh no, I'm getting that. And the mom just leave it in there. And I'm like, oh, and you wonder where I get, thank God you're not my child. Think about it. Oh, mama, you're letting something get out of hand, and I just don't know about that. But, your kids say weird things. I got called in for Emily when she was in 2-year-old class because she knew her teacher's name, but she was being sassy and calling her, hey. She wasn't calling her by her teacher's name. And, she knew better. At 2.5 years old, she knew better. She knew her name. So there had to be some discipline there that, you call your teacher by her name. And yeah, it was young, and it took a little while for her to understand, but boy, when she understood, she understood. Kids need to understand. You can, there's times to, can we discuss this? Can we talk about this? Because they are humans and they're learning to make their choices. So you need to, give them a choice. It might be something you can give them a choice on. But you damn well not going to be doing it while we're out in a restaurant eating. Or you're damn well not going to be doing it while we at church or in the grocery store. Let's take that shit home. Because remember, home is where you're comfortable. Home is where if your kid wants to go in the bathroom and cuss, or even cuss in the house, that's your home. You can decide. So, you have a little more freedom when you're at home. But the stories that I used to hear from daycare kids, some of them were just hilarious, and you're like, oh, if your mama knew you were saying this, she would turn blood red. You know what I mean? We know I don't sing so well, so let's just go with that, okay? One was, I remember a mom was saying that we could have I like sauerkraut, and she was going to fix us some sauerkraut and onions and sausage and stuff, and her daughter said, no, remember Dad? Remember Mom? Dad said no more sausage time? I don't think we were talking about the same sausage, little girl. It's just the look on Mom's face, and of course I just moved over it because, well, that's what she did with sausage time. She just moved over it. Oh, let's hum out of that one now. But that was a really good one. And it's when your kids turn you red, kind of like, I don't know. I know one of my hide and seek baby from like episode 2 or 3, he was probably the first kid I had that just turned around. He was actually, I think it was in the pastor's wife. It was so long ago. Her arms, and we're all saying bye, and he turns around and just licks her straight up the cheek, just like I had licked him in daycare, just being funny, because he was a baby. I didn't think he was going to be doing that, you know what I mean? Little embarrassing there, but I'll never forget it. Or kids misbehaving. I used to, way before daycare, there was Blippi's. It was a sandwich shop, kind of like Subway. I actually liked it better. But anyway, we would have kids come in there waiting for the basketball games and things like that at the school, because it was close enough and they could get sandwich and eat if they had to before a game. But when I started working there after school, hanging out there is fine, but you're going to be respectful or you're not going to stay in there, And then we had the cookies that were like $4 for $1. And so then they were like, can we just have one cookie? Well, they were there for sometimes an hour after school, like homework and making sure eating and stuff. And I had them behaving pretty well. But then I told them, I'd be happy to give you a cookie if you want to help me do some cleaning. So don't think I wasn't paying for $2 of cookies every afternoon to get chairs detailed and stuff. Like, well, detail that table and here's some cleaner and stuff. Yes, I worked the kids for cookies. And some people might say child labor law, but you know what I say? I say, fuck that. They behaved. They had fun. They had cookies, and their games were awesome. And that's all that mattered, if you understand. But that was just something that they knew, as long as they were respectful and didn't bug anybody, we could have a great time after school, and they might get a cookie. And nothing wrong with that, if you know what I mean. One of the stories that I read, I do believe it was on Reddit list of creepiest things kids said. So if you want to go look for it, but it was like, what the hell? She said her child was eating a turkey sandwich, and he says, Mom, what if I put this turkey in the DVD player and it plays the movie of the pig's whole life story? Oh, okay. I don't think any of us were prepared as parents for that theology, if you know what I mean. Because that's a whole creepy movie. Can you imagine if we had a movie like a serial killer and he could put the meat of someone he killed? Okay, I'm not going to go any farther with that because that's more on my morbid mind, not yours. So let's go beep. We can start over, right? I'm not going to edit that out because that is kind of my morbid mind. Can you imagine that movie? Look, I just brought it back in your mind. Okay, so anyway, that story was just like one of the creepiest ones I think I did. But yeah, and then I read another story of a lady that said that her daughter wanted a cat. I mean, what little girl doesn't want a cat? She wanted a kitten, and she said, we can't have a kitten because I'm allergic to cats. And her little girl looked at her with a straight face and told her, well, you can sleep outside, Mom. I love my kittens, but outside? I mean, I do live off grid half my time, so outside sleep's kind of fun, so maybe it'd be worth it for another cat. So, yeah, but that was weird, because you don't think I think she was 2 or 3-year-old maybe, said that. You just don't ever think of that happening. Or I think a couple of years ago, there was a video of a little girl talking about, well, before I was born, I remember coming out of the fire from underneath our bed, and she just had a whole story of how she was coming from hell before she was born. And we're just going to pretend that video never happened, right? We're right. Then I read another story that said that all the dad told the kids was, now we're late. Thank you guys. You guys didn't get up fast enough, and now we're late. And the boys tell him, well, you probably should have started yelling at us sooner. That's quite the smart ass talking back to you, but it's also correct. Oh, Lord. Getting kids ready in the morning. Do you remember that? A bunch of you probably are still having to get kids up in the morning, but oh my. My kids like sleep as much as I like sleep, and they did not like getting up in the morning. It was not a pleasant thing all the time. So I also didn't really have a big problem with my kids going to sleep. So I was a very lucky mom. I mean, if I said, hey, let's take a nap on a Saturday afternoon, everybody was game to go to the bed and take a nap. And that was when they were in high school. So I've been pretty blessed on that. So, yeah. So if you need help on really teaching your kids to sleep, I'm not sure I can help you, but I can try. Just put them on their own damn bed. Okay, that was a couple episodes ago. All right, so then I had another story, and this will be towards the last story. I read it. It was very short, and we had a little boy that was going to have a baby sister or brother. And the mom had asked if she wanted a boy or a girl. Do you want a brother or do you want a sister? I mean, that's a common question to ask, because that's what everybody wants to know. His answer was he was actually planning on Batman coming out. So, I'm not sure anybody can have Batman. But boy, girl, I mean, that would be a boy, right? I'd just say he wanted a brother then. That's how I'd say. But, Batman kind of delivered my Emily. Did I ever tell that story? She was born in Indiana, and it was really cold December. And my doctor came in at the last minute with this big old trench coat, and it looked like, literally came in to catch Emily coming out. Literally looked like Batman helped give birth to Emily, or caught Emily coming out, let's put it that way, because we know the nurse did everything, but Batman accepted her with this big old black trench coat on. It came through when he ran through to catch my baby that, quote, I had to pay him the $10,000-12,000 on. Okay, Anyway, that's a whole nother what the hell story, if you know what I mean. So, I'm going to go on because I didn't lose my sausage time and we're traveling. But I am alone. He had court all day. So, I'm going to go down somewhere in this casino. Hopefully not see a bunch of 7-year-old kids because it is hopefully school time. And see if I can find me maybe some nachos and a blue margarita. I do have $6 to play. How long you think that would last? Just saying. Not even 6 minutes. Yep. All right. So, I'm going to go look for that blue margarita. Okay, going on with the season 2 of Thank God You're Not My Child. I just wanted to let everyone know that I would like to do, I've got quite a few stories from parents about little it's and things that happen with their kids that could be conversation type things, and I'd like to have some more. So, DM or email stories, anything funny that you've seen with your kids, with strangers. It's just laughing is what keeps us going. And, maybe we can get things going on here that just might make us laugh so much that you'll want to pee in your pants. Or do you ever really want to pee in your pants? That's a whole nother thing, isn't it? Okay, so anyway, you can email at justbekdonna@yahoo.com. justbekdonna@yahoo.com. Or go find my Facebook and Instagram pages. Thank God You're Not My Child. Until next time.